Okay, recording on video and hey, and welcome back to the deep dive episode of the Polite Society podcast powered by the Firearms Policy Coalition. This is our third interview in the series. We're joined by Jeff Knox of the Firearms Coalition. We are going to be talking, of course, as we have been all episode, about the NRA, about what's happening with the NRA. And Jeff, you were gracious enough to take time out of your day right after the NRA annual meetings wrapped up. And we did, goodness, an hour to 90-minute conversation on what is going on with the NRA. And a lot of things have happened since then. Thank you for coming back on and talking with us again, man.
Always a pleasure, Paul. I appreciate you letting me spread my propaganda.
Sure. Well, let's start with some recent stuff that has happened, and a lot of things are circling around the NRA controversially. 3 board of directors members who had been calling for a independent investigation of the dealings of the NRA as far as finances.
They were calling for an independent audit.
Yeah.
They just an independent audit to say, where are our books? What's been going on with our money? And specifically, why are we paying this lawyer's office $100,000 a day? What are we getting for that? And is that reasonable? $100,000 a day adds up to $2 million a month. That's a lot of money. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of money.
And that's a lot of $100,000 a day. How can you even at $1,000 an hour? That's
if all of his attorneys, every attorney in his office was working 8 hours a day for the NRA, billing $1,000 an hour, that's how they could get there. But they would all have to be doing that. So it seems pretty unlikely to me.
Yeah.
And pretty unreasonable to me. So I don't know. That's one thing. But that's what they were trying to do, those 3. They were 3 of 6 directors that signed a letter calling for that independent audit. The other 3 are still on the board, and we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, there were 3 of the good ones, and I'm sorry to see them go.
Yeah, I've talked with Tim Knight off the record since then, and he's told me some encouraging things. But it's a shame because those 3 were very much in favor of giving the NRA back to the people, and and to be honest, I almost call it 4 because Kraut,
Adam Kraut,
who was in line to take one of those seats, said, I've got this thing going on, and I think I could do better where I'm at. And so he decided not to take the seat.
So he turned it down. Yeah, and that's a shame. I mean, after running 3 years in a row and almost making it each time, now he's been invited to be on the board, and he said no, and I don't blame him one bit. And now he's gone to work for the Firearms Policy Coalition, and I think that that's great to have him over there. I would not want to be on the NRA board of directors. If I was offered a seat on the NRA board of directors today, I would probably turn it down. It is too ugly a mess. And anybody who is on the board of directors at this point who isn't lawyered up, I think is a fool, because they are vulnerable. They've not been President Carolyn Meadows keeps using this phrase that it was reviewed, vetted, and approved. By whom? Well, she keeps implying that by the board of directors. And I keep talking to members of the board of directors who say, I'm not sure what she's talking about. I didn't know anything about that. I asked about that and was told that I couldn't get that information. This is one of the things about the three directors that quit: Tim Knight, Sean Maloney, and Esther Snyder. They all three have sent letters to the president, have sent letters to the secretary, have sent letters to the executive vice president saying, we really don't understand why this is this way, and we would very much like you to explain it to us. We'd like to see this documentation. We'd like to see how this was approved. We'd like to see, um, you know, any of this, and they've been denied that, and that's one of the reasons that they've resigned. Uh, uh, President Meadows sent them a letter with a not very vague threat right up in the opening that claimed that they had violated the bylaws by um, sharing their letter that they sent to the NRA asking for an independent audit, that letter was circulated publicly, and Carolyn Meadows claimed that she saw it in the media before she saw it in her mail. I don't know the truth of any of that, but frankly, there's no violation of the bylaws there, and they could try and claim that there was, but there's not. If I want to write an open letter to the board of directors, even if I'm a member of the board of directors, I'm more than welcome to share that letter with other people, including the press, either before or after I have sent it to the board of directors. So I don't know what their issue is, but the threat was fairly obvious from Carolyn Meadows, was that the board could take action against those 6 directors. Mm-hmm. And so I think that they saw that, and that they saw the lawsuit from David Delaquila that has since been filed, charging the NRA and its leadership with fraud in their fundraising methods. That we were told that if we donated to the NRA, the money was going to go to fight for gun rights, and what we got was money was donated to the NRA, and it went to $1,000, multi-$1,000 Italian suits for Wayne LaPierre,
right,
and so forth. So that's his lawsuit, and we'll see where that goes. But if I were a member of the board of directors, I would be definitely concerned, because they are not clearly protected under New York law from being personally held responsible for their actions or inactions.
Sure. Now, there was a report that, and we talked this a little bit about this before we went live with the interview, but there was a report out there a while back that either the liability insurance for the board of directors was priced out of reach, or it was just canceled by the NRA. Do you think that might have had something to do with it too?
I don't know that played a significant role in the 3 that just resigned. I've spoken with all 3 of them at various times. None of them gave me that indication, but I think that they were aware that the lawsuit was going to be coming down from David Delaquila. He had not been mincing much words with his letters to the board of directors, that you guys need to get your ducks in order, because you're going to have to start answering questions, and it's not going to be me asking the questions, it's going to be lawyers. And so I think that writing was on the wall. I was disappointed to see them resign, but I can't blame them at all. They're still going to be implicated, because they were on the board when the board was doing stupid stuff, and the board is still doing stupid stuff, so they're not liable for the stupid stuff that's happening now. As far as the insurance, I have no idea. NRA says, no, that's not true. We still have D&O insurance, but I know that they were having some issues with the D&O insurance as early as last year, possibly before. And I wouldn't be surprised if I were an insurance company and a window of opportunity for me to bow out came about. I would do that with the NRA. That's like you've got medical insurance, and you forget to renew on time, and so the insurance company can drop your medical insurance, and it so happens that you've just been diagnosed with AIDS. um, the insurance company is going to drop your coverage
Yeah.
if they get the opportunity. And that's maybe what's going on. I have no idea. I don't have an inside track on that. The person that I knew inside the Office of Insurance at NRA is no longer an employee there because she got worried about what was going on and tried to raise uh, awareness of it, tried to alert the board to it, and the thanks that she got was she got thrown out on her can. And I think that that's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace, because she was a dedicated NRA employee. Never ever revealed anything to me. To this day, has never exposed anything to me, though we were good friends. And we had an understanding that she was inside NRA, I was outside NRA, and I don't ask her questions, and she doesn't give me answers about things inside NRA ever. And that's been our agreement since we met. I don't know what, 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and now they've thrown her under the bus, and I think that it's just a damn shame, and it is a symptom of the greater problems at NRA that they would do that with loyal employees.
Well, and they continue to circle the wagon in other ways besides the board. And I hate to keep harping on the board of directors, but that's so central to this
Mm-hmm.
conversation. Many of the members that are raising concerns, even if they weren't the members of the six that were calling for the independent audit, their committee memberships have been dropped. They get basically shown the door saying, well, you're a member of the board, but that's about it.
Right. There has been retribution since all of this stuff broke, and the big issue has been when they announced the new committee assignments. The president makes committee assignments at the beginning of their term, and the president this time clearly went through the list, and anyone that wasn't um, solidly backing Wayne didn't get a significant board appointment. And they went so far as to use board appointments as punishment. And an example I'll give is Colonel Bob Brown, that he was removed from the Military and Veterans Affairs Committee. Colonel Bob Brown of Soldier of Fortune magazine, who's been on the
Wow.
board of directors for 20 years and was one of the guys who created the Military and Veterans Affairs Committee that Ollie North chaired.
Mm-hmm.
For him to be kicked off of that committee, it's not a powerful committee. It's not a committee that makes big decisions inside the NRA, um, but it's something that mattered to Bob Brown, and they took that away from him. And the only reason that I can see for them to have done that was to punish him, because he's been an outspoken advocate against Ackerman and McQueen for years, and he has been an outspoken advocate for the members and calling for full disclosure and Wayne LaPierre to step down in light of the chicanery that's obviously been going on up at headquarters. And that kind of retribution, punishing him in that way, I think, again, it's just despicable.
We've only got a couple minutes left of this segment, but one other thing I want to touch on, and we're going to be getting heavily into the Delaquila lawsuit next segment, but I want to touch on, if we could, Chris Cox. His
Mm-hmm.
departure was very, very sudden, in my eyes, very unexpected. What was your take there?
I was stunned. I was blown away. And when you look at the evidence that convicted him, it's even more stunning. He received a text message from a member of the board of directors saying, "Well, I think that Ollie's going to ask about this. Okay, good. Well, this is really a mess." That's basically the entire conversation, as far as I've been able to find out from reading the court documents. And from that, they gleaned that Chris Cox was in cahoots in a conspiracy coup attempt against Wayne LaPierre, and he was summarily, unilaterally suspended from his position along with his chief deputy. Um, uh, that that's ridiculous. It's outrageous, and I salute Chris for resigning in under those circumstances. But I am also probably pretty convinced that Chris probably has a very good golden parachute. If other NRA departures are any indication, that when you get up into that level of executive chair, they've been paying people for 2 years after they're gone. And I know that Wayne LaPierre's contract says that he gets paid for at least 2 years full salary after he's gone, no matter why he goes, and continues to get paid full salary for an indeterminate number of years after that as a consultant and speaker for the NRA.
Wow.
So I would think that probably there's something similar in Chris's contract, and that this is one of the reasons that he's gone quietly, because he's still pulling in $1 million a year from NRA and doesn't have to earn it. So, no, absolute shocker. And a question I just posed to the board of directors is, how about that we give Wayne the exact same benefit of the doubt and consideration that Wayne gave Chris Cox?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do need to step aside to break, and we'll be right back for one more segment with Jeff Knox right after this.